Yo, what's going on everybody? Kofuzy here, and I am not going to be running in the New York Marathon this weekend, but that's not going to stop me from heading over to New York City to go and check it out, partake in as many of the festivities over the weekend that I can, and cheer on some friends. But first, before I tell you about what my weekend schedule is going to be like, let's go for a quick recovery run. 10.49 miles, 8 minutes, 55 seconds per mile, and 139 beats per minute today, going for a nice and easy recovery run along the lakefront, which was very nice indeed after a very windy and rough long run the day before, but feeling really good. Today, what I want to talk about is New York Marathon Weekend. It's this weekend. I'm not going to be running it, unfortunately. I keep putting my name in for the lottery. I keep always coming up with the L. Maybe one year I'll be able to run it, but it's not going to be this year. But I wasn't going to wait and miss out on all the parties, so I'm going to head over there anyway and just go and check it out. My family's in the area, so it's a long overdue trip to spend some time with my parents, with my sister and her family. I did just get a chance to see her. They came in for Chicago Marathon Weekend briefly, but spent a little bit more time with family and my mom and dad more specifically. And while I'm there, check out a race. So I've been trying to do some intel on kind of like what's going on. I've never run the race before, so like I don't know kind of like what the scene is like. I know what Chicago's like. I've run Chicago a bunch of times and I'm kind of like plugged into the running scene here. Not really sure what's going on over there. So here's what I've been able to find out from like reaching out to some of the brands that I've been working with before, but also just kind of like doing a little bit of a search to figure out what's going on for the marathon weekend that you guys can participate in. Because I'm sure I think the New York running scene is very like club oriented. Like you go with your crew and your crew does stuff. I'm sure all the local crews are doing some really great things. I'm just not a part of those crews, so like I don't really know what's going on there, and I'm not sure like what the situation is for people that are visiting. So like, that's certainly one thing. I don't want to discount that. I'm sure that's probably like the big thing that's happening. But for those of you who are just coming in for the weekend and trying to find some other stuff to do, here's what I've been able to find out. There's two brands that I think that are really showing up in terms of putting on some other extracurriculars for people that are coming in for the weekend. And those are going to be Tracksmith and Hoka. Now, for the entire weekend, like the New York City Marathon is sponsored by New Balance. That's the title shoe sponsor. So I don't want to like discount them or kind of whatever they're doing. But in terms of like other events outside of the marathon itself, not that that's like a little thing, just like, outside the marathon, outside of the expo and all the other stuff. I know there's a lot of brands and vendors going to be heading out over that way. But outside of that, I'm not going to go to the expo. I kind of really want to go, especially since I don't have to race this weekend. Like that's the best time to go to an expo, I think. But let's talk about what Tracksmith and Hoka are doing. So Tracksmith is doing another pop-up. I think they've been doing this for a lot of years now. They're doing it again this year. I got the email like a couple days ago, and like I opened the email like 20 minutes after it was sent, and already a lot of this stuff was like filled up to capacity. There's still COVID restrictions, and they're trying to kind of limit the number to some things. But in addition to having like the pop-up where you can go, and I don't think you need to sign up or register for a time to be able to go to that. You can go, you can check out some like Tracksmith stuff, like in person, hold it, touch it, feel it, that kind of thing, which when I went to the Chicago pop-up, it was pretty cool. I'd never seen so much Tracksmith like in one place ever before. So that was like pretty cool to see. They'll have New York specific like apparel that you can get. And I think pop-up only exclusives as well that should be there, kind of like they did in Boston and like they did for Chicago. So that's something worth checking out. I think the first thing that you can try to go for at Tracksmith is starting Friday, which is the first day that they start. It goes 10 to 7 Friday through Sunday, I believe. You can get the race pack. In Chicago, that was a Tracksmith tote with Chicago Marathon branding. I'm assuming for New York, it'll be the Tracksmith tote with New York branding. So that was pretty nice to have. And I got a pair of Tracksmith socks as well, plus a banana. Don't forget the banana. In addition to just the regular pop-up, a lot of the events are kind of already filled or already booked, but there's two things that you can still do with Tracksmith if you're interested in. One is that they have their shakeout. I believe it's Saturday at 9 a.m. They're going to do about a 5K shakeout starting from the New York pop-up. And the other thing that you can do, and you better hurry up and sign up for this fast, because when last time I looked, there was only 27 spots remaining. Saturday at 4:30 in the afternoon, there's a talk with Nick Willis, Mary Kane, and Knox Robinson. They're going to talk about running culture and the future of the sport. I think it's going to be a pretty cool conversation, but they are going to limit the attendance to that event. Again, I think because they don't want too many people all in one kind of small space at the same time, but that's going to be pretty cool to check out as well. Now let's talk about what Hoka's doing over the weekend. They're going to be doing stuff all over. Hoka did open a pop-up in New York. When Hoka opened up these pop-up stores, I think they're the first like Hoka stores that they've ever made. They made a pop-up in LA and a pop-up in New York, and that's one of the things that I'm going to be checking out. I haven't seen it before, but I'm going to go and try and see like a bunch of Hoka stuff in person, all in one spot, which I think is kind of a cool idea. But all of the events aren't necessarily going to be happening from that Hoka pop-up. So one of the things that I think is going to be super interesting, and I think you can still RSVP for, is on Thursday. For those of you that are getting in on Thursday, 6 p.m., there's going to be a shakeout. I think that leaves from Jackrabbit. From the Jackrabbit store near Columbus Circle. I think that's where it is. You're going to do a quick shakeout run. Afterwards, I think Theragun's going to be bringing some of their recovery boots. And you can also test ride some Bondi X's for this run. And also joining you for the run is going to be Kellen Taylor and Steph Bruce. They're putting on this event, Hoka, Steph Bruce, Kellen Taylor, in collaboration with Run Girl. So I think that's going to be a pretty cool event for a lot of people to go check out if you're in town on Thursday and are looking for a shakeout run. The next event from Hoka that I think is worth mentioning that you can probably still attend, last time I checked, you could still sign up for it, is there's another shakeout. I think they're calling it the final shakeout run on Saturday morning at 11 a.m. with Finback Brewing. This is going to go from their tap room in Brooklyn. I'm going to be going to this event at 11 o'clock. So if you want to come hang out, go for the shakeout run, and then I think they're going to have a couple of brews available afterwards for tasting. I'm definitely going to indulge and enjoy a couple of them if I can, because I'm not racing on Sunday, so I think that'll be pretty cool. If you guys want to hang out, let's do that. I'm RSVP'd for that and looking forward to it. But if you can't make that, I think the other kind of like headline event that I want to talk about today is I'm going to be doing a Kofuzi Run Club meetup. So we'll be doing our own shakeout run with Emily Heller. So it's going to be a Kofuzi Run Club, Run Like Heller, collab shakeout run. We're going to be meeting in Central Park at Bethesda Fountain on Saturday, 9:30 a.m. I've mapped out what I think is about a 5K route. I've never run in Central Park before. So like, who knows if it's actually a runnable route or not. It looks like a runnable route, but I'm really bad at maps. But I tried to make a route and it looks okay. So we're going to try to run this. We're going to run around. It's just one big loop. We're going to go up around the reservoir and then hopefully make our way back around the fountain. And we'll start and end there, take some photos, hang out for a little bit as well. So that's going to be Saturday, 9:30 a.m. But here's one other thing. If you want to do a shakeout run on Friday, and you also want to run in Central Park, I won't be doing it, but on Friday, Seth is going to have a meeting of the Demore Global Run Club. They're meeting, I believe, at 10 a.m. at a slightly different spot, slightly different route, but I think where some of the routes is overlaps a bit. I think he's done that one before. Emily mentioned that she's done that shakeout run with Seth before in a prior year, so that should be a really fun event as well. I've got to get in a long run that day, so I'm probably going to be running in New Jersey, where my parents live, and trying to get in some miles along the Hudson. So I won't be able to attend that one because I got some workouts that I got to get done. CIM is going to be here before I know it. But that is my schedule for the week. I'll post on the screen now all the different things that I've talked about, and I'll arrange it by day and time so that you can kind of get a better idea of places that you might want to go check out between getting into town, checking into your hotel, going to the expo, getting your bib, and getting your shakeout in, so you can kind of figure out what works best for you and your schedule. And I'll also put links to everything down below for those things that you have to sign up for. They're available now as of the time of this filming, but you know, these things kind of fill up fast, so hopefully you can get there and sign up for those events that will just kind of help make the entire marathon experience a little bit more fun by making it an entire like marathon weekend celebration of running. And it's going to be hopefully one of those weekends where I'm kind of glad that I'm not running a marathon, because I think I'm going to be all over the place, meeting up with you guys, meeting other people, and having a really good time and celebrating another world major marathon, and one that I've never witnessed in person before. So I'm super excited for that. If you have any questions about any of the events, let me know in the comments down below. I'll do my best to answer them, or better yet, feel free to stop by the live stream they do Monday through Friday right here on YouTube, and I'd love to be able to talk to you guys in the chat. That's all I have for today, everybody. Thanks so much for making it all the way to the end of the video. Hopefully you guys are staying safe out there on your runs, and I will see you in the next one.
Yo, what's going on?